Welcome back to the channel. All right, I've done a few videos on Mr. Sinister, having taken mine to rank 3 in Sig 126, and he is phenomenal. He's amazing. I've enjoyed that. Going through the comments, so the most common question I'm getting asked is, outside of how did you do this, is how much does he need the signature ability? How much is this helping him? Out of what I'm seeing in these crazy things, how much of it's the signature ability? Are you happy you put in the stones? One, I'm going to tell you right now, yes, I'm happy I put in the signature stones because he's doing what I wanted him to do. The reason why I had it in there. We're going to look at his signature ability here, and then we're going to actually jump into the realm of legends because his signature really builds upon itself as you go through a quest, right? Don't worry, we're not going to watch all those fights. Not going to do that. We're going to fast forward through a lot of it, but you're going to see the important parts of it. And I'm also going to record this live because there is a random portion to a signature ability too. And I think it's very important that you see like how good it might go or how poorly it might go. Now, the most important thing that I think you need to know for the very beginning, just a basic understanding before we jump straight in, is that in every single fight, he randomly gets 3 of these effects that I've had on the screen. These are the effects he might get based on signature level 126. And then as we go through the fight, depending on what sort of class of defender we've beaten, he will guaranteed get one of those effects. We're about to beat Winter Soldier. So after this fight, he will start every single fight for the rest of the quest with the skill Precision, increasing crit rating by 438. And the really big ones for me are the Cosmic. That is a massive attack rating, especially when you consider he can get that 3 times over the course of a quest, or 3 times just in the beginning if you're incredibly lucky. Or the Mystic Combat Power Rate, great for offensive use, and Defender, which again, remember, Battlegrounds is the only mode that I play very competitively, and why I very much wanted the signature ability. The real irony though is how good it is for just general questing, right? So this is a good opportunity because we started off with science to let you know that I have been testing this, right? I wanted to have a pretty good idea of what was going on before we started this quest, and it became pretty clear to me that the signature ability that's supposed to be increasing the heal that he would be getting, it is definitely bugged. It is very bugged. It does not change. Fortunately, his heal back is so strong that I didn't even notice it in my first few videos. Often you're not usually getting hit. Like, that's a defensive thing in Battlegrounds, so you're not even getting to see that. That being said, it is something that I would want. And so I let Kabam know, and I'm hoping they fix it very soon. I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of irritating. It is more than kind of irritating that he's been in the game this long. I don't know how long he's been bugged. Maybe it's new, I have no idea. But at the same time, nothing we can do about it. And if I had to pick one of the signature ability things to be bugged and not working, that's probably higher on my list. Like I said, the Cosmic one and the Mystic ones were the really big deal to me. So I think this is okay because he's a good enough defender as it is, and I want him for offensive use. All right, so now we definitely have a skill genetic code, let's call it, right? So we're gonna get that increased crit rating. It's a really nice increased crit rating, and we're gonna get 3 random ones as we jump into this. The really cool thing is, now that we're going to have beaten a Cosmic, we will start every fight with at least 1 Cosmic effect, increasing our attack rating by 1,434. If you look at this, you can see that is a nice attack increase. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. And remember, we are running recoil. You don't need to run recoil with him. I've shown so many fights with him without recoil. I will continue to do that in Battleground showcases, which will definitely, of course, be upcoming. You don't need to do it, but if you have access to recoil and you have a Sinister that you want to use, my question for you is, why are you not running recoil? There's probably a good reason. I just don't know what it is. So we can see some massive damage being done here. I thought I got that in time for the stun. I didn't. So that was interesting. We actually have the Cosmic genetic code there, and it does increase your combat power rate. And so that's something that's really nice. You can see, because I'm trying to talk and do all these things, I didn't account for it. In no way is it a negative. Not very often am I trying to do a live video and record and explain the signature ability of a champion. So we now have the Cosmic increase, okay? We're gonna go into this fight. Let's pay attention to what his heavies are hitting for, because you're obviously heavy pretty regularly, and we'll see. So hopefully we don't get another one, just for our own testing purposes. Hopefully we don't get another cosmic one. We did not, so we're good to go. So let's pay attention. So crit for 26,000. So let's remember that for the next one. It crit for 26,000. And that fight went down very, very fast. So there you go. You're starting to get an idea. You see the ramp that's happening, those sorts of things, right? Okay. So now hopefully we get another cosmic genetic code. If we get that, we can, as soon as we get one, we'll be able to see the attack increases coming in for us here. But we had 26,000 was the crit. You can see, this is why I don't mind the crit rating. I do not mind it at all, because as time goes on, those heavies start to really hit pretty darn hard. And the special one can start to hit pretty darn hard when you consider how often you are cycling through it. I was busy yapping and I didn't even notice. Let's see, man, I want to get off a heavy. Stop attacking me. Let's hope this crits. 35,000. So we went from, what was it, 26 to 35,000. One of those cosmics came along with for the ride because we had already picked it up. And then the other one came along, or the other three came along for this. As we talked about earlier in the video, again, you don't count on that happening. Don't count on getting all three of them cosmic, but it can happen. It can happen in a mode like Battlegrounds where seconds are precious, health is precious. Getting those cosmic ones, right? If you're an attacker, gonna really help. Even just one, 3 would be incredible. Okay, we're gonna watch this one because I always think this is cool to see him just absolutely overwhelm the healing of Wolverine. So I'm gonna kind of try to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Our combat power rate should be mightily increased, which is great. Love to see that. Send over some of these degens. Take a shot to the face, does not matter. We've only done one pause, and this Wolverine's already in trouble. And he's dead. And he's dead. Terrible gameplay, AI, the whole thing. All right, now we're gonna stick together as we finish off Black Bolt and then Green Hulk. Black Bolt will help us pick up another cosmic charge. So we'll see, hopefully we get a random roll here. Let's see what we get. Nope. We've got a lot of crit rating though. And then the mutant one provides a prowess. As you can see, like, this is why I said, like, the AI here, it's not great for this sort of fight. That's fine. It's good for our, it's good enough for what we're trying to test here. We might be able to get it in a third set. Yep, there we go. Thanks to that awesome synergy. Let's get those on. It doesn't matter. Black Bolt's dead. He just doesn't realize it yet. All right. So, big picture here. We've only fought one cosmic champion. We've now fought a second one over the course of the quest. So now we are guaranteed to have 2 of the cosmics as we go in to fight this Hulk. I did see a comment from someone on the last one just kind of pointing out that if you fight a current Hulk, remember, he does get a degen resistance, so it was really smart for them to point that out. I'm glad they did. This Hulk is the old pre-buff version of Hulk, so he's not going to have that degen resistance. Just keep that in mind as we go through this. But again, we have beaten all these champions, so now we're going to collect those genetic codes, and they will be coming out. Let's go. And we even got another roll of cosmic here. So we are eating good. We're already at our special one. And this Hulk may be in big trouble. He may not survive through this initial yeah. He doesn't even survive. There you go. Let's go ahead and we'll jump over to Aunt May so you can kind of see how it scales. We'll kind of give my final thoughts and opinions on this. Okay, so now that we've seen all of that, like, what does it actually mean though, right? Like, what's my advice, which I think is ultimately what you're looking for. I did want to show you the stats though and show you like actually what happens, the numbers, the way this plays out, so you can kind of make an informed decision on your own as well. And I pulled this up here on Aunt May because I think it's important that you also see that, like, at Sig 1, the Cosmic Fury increased attack rating is only going to be 635. And not that that's nothing, and you could get 3 of them, which ends up being a bigger number, it looks like, or very close to the same number as if you had it all the way at Sig 200 and you only had one. So I'm not going to tell you it's never going to come into play. I'm not going to tell you that the combat power rate of the Mystic won't be 5%. That's noticeable, right? Like Mystic Dispersion, those sorts of things. I'm not going to say that wouldn't happen, but I think you can see why someone like me, who one, motivation was Battlegrounds, being competitive in that, and then two, and I was very open about this, like I thought this would do well on YouTube, and it has, and you all have enjoyed it, and I think been informed by it. So I was very happy to put in my real life resources to do this, and it's worked out very, very well. So those things combined made it very easy for me, exciting for me, and fun for me. I'm putting my Awakening Gem in there, and then I'm putting in all of those Saga Stones, every single one. I think that's important to take a look at this. In the Captain Marvel movie fight, I went back and I watched this. We had 0 cosmics, and we had a heavy crit for 24,000. By the time we got to Black Bolt, we only had 1 cosmic because we had picked one up along the way from beating Captain Marvel, and that heavy crit was 27,000. So it's an increase of 30,000. One of the things that really I did not go into this video thinking would really matter that much to me was actually the crit rating from the skill. His crits actually started doing like serious work. Against Wolverine with 2 cosmics, we had a heavy crit for 30,000. Those aren't nothing numbers. Those are actually really large. And in a mode like Battlegrounds with a health pool, like a massive health pool is like 400,000, getting in those extra chunks, especially when a node or a defender is making things slightly more difficult for me to just parry and hold heavy over and over. Like even his basic hits were, I think, doing like 10 and 12,000 crits. And then by the time we got all the way to Hulk, through the whole quest, we had 2 mutants, 3 crit skills, and 3 cosmic attack ratings. Our SB1 and both hit crit actually crit for 65,000. If you think about it, and you're potentially throwing your SP1 twice in a fight, that's 130,000 damage. Now that's all built up over the course of time, but you're seeing that like even just one of these rolls is very, very impactful for him. We got no heavy crits in that one, which is unusual. And then our degen at only 10 stacks with the 3 cosmics, right? The 3 attack ratings with only 10 degen stacks was ticking for 20,000. Ticking for 20,000. So ultimately, what you're like, what's the advice? Because everyone's going to get a free 7-star Sinister. I wouldn't go out and like forego something else to get the Awakening Gem. But I think if you have one and you're willing to put Sig Stones in, I think that's where it's really at. Is if you want to play him in these competitive modes, if you want to use him in Battlegrounds, you want to take him to rank 3, yeah, I think he's extremely worthy. I think he's extremely worthy. And here's the wild part, just in case you didn't watch this part, because I know not everyone watches every part of the video. As I said earlier, the science one, the regen rate, that should be increasing his regen rate, it's not working. It's very, like, I really paid attention to it. It's just flat out not. I've let Kabam know. I imagine they will fix it, hopefully very, very soon. If that starts to kick in, he's going to become even that harder of a defender. Now, if someone's got a heal block, they're just going to take advantage, shut that down. But if they don't, he's becoming that much more difficult of a defender for champions without a heal block. I am extremely happy they put him in. Does he need it? No. Is it extremely beneficial for his use in competitive modes like Battlegrounds and potentially building him up as a main quester over the course of a quest, like something like War, and potentially offsetting things like Inequity, which is what's often spec'd by a PvP defender? Absolutely. It is extremely helpful and extremely worthy. As usual, let me know what we think we got right. Let me know what we think we got wrong. Let me know, did you find this helpful? It's the first time I think I've really tried to analyze a signature ability like this in depth, this nuance, but I know this one's important. I know there's not a lot of stuff out there on Sinister, and I know he's eye-popping. No joke, I am pretty sure he is going to be in the highest tier when we release the October general tier list. I've already started talking to the Illuminati about it. They were already a lot of huge fans in there, and they saw the videos, and they're like, okay, he might not be as good as Onslaught, but he's in that tier. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.